Hello everyone and welcome back to the ultimate overmodded collection challenge for Stardew Valley. It's a new month and we have new mods for summer. I gotta say thanks for all the love on the video for the spring season, and if you enjoyed that video please consider liking and subscribing to not miss out on the future streams and videos for this series. For this season in total we added another 14 mods, which include pine spruce for extra shipping goods, mini pigs for white truffles, and over 150 new mushrooms to collect. A mod to create everlasting flowers in glass, winter crops, a big expansion to the types of Joja cola you can collect, a small addition for amanita mushroom recipes, more flowers, lemons, and a whole load of new recipe mods and sliced fruit to keep us busy in this challenge. But enough about that, let's jump into summer. Day 1 started with our lucky ring having changed to a glow ring, which I wasn't too happy about, and after talking to Yuma about visiting Lenny on a sunny day at Ridgeside, we scythed away all of the dead crops from spring, harvested some fire beans, got sad that our king parsnips had errored out in a mod update, looked over all the new items we'd been needing to ship, and headed out of the farm for the day. In Cindersnap Forest, we saw Vincent and Luna talking about missing somebody, and we headed to collect Robin's missing axe. We were needing as much money as possible for the start of summer to get a good start with crop growing for the season. After placing down a sign to make sure we had proof of collecting her axe for the challenge, we handed over her axe, talked to a few people in town, and stocked up on crops, and we left Pierre's with a decent haul of seeds to start off the summer. We got our first Joja cola box heading home via the mountain lake, finding a honey lightning and Joja cream inside. We didn't open the third box as we needed it for the collection challenge, and we are bound to find more as we continue playing. We also found some mugwort and honey fungus before getting back home. Items dropped off, we started organizing our farm how we wanted it to be in the long run, moving over our sprinklers to a slightly different location with the hope of upgrading to quality sprinklers this season. The dahlia flower was unfortunately in a sprinkler spot, but we'll have to live with that for now, and after planting and watering all our crops, it was time to end our first day, making 770 gold that night. Day 2 was Lola's birthday, but we were a bit busy right now. We have a farming empire to be building after all. We received some mail saying the railroad blockage would be removed that night, and after watering a few crops not covered by the basic sprinklers, we found a silver cherry and a golden orange in the underground cave farm. Marnie didn't want our business today, so we headed to the mines, finding a lovebird feather and lost book for the library on our way. We're trying to hit gold level to start crafting those quality sprinklers, managing to get down to level 60 and receiving the crystal dagger for our troubles. A secret ladder with a very cryptic message here took us all the way to Mount Vapius, where we met Adelaide and Celestine on our arrival. We dug up a bait and bobber book here for some fishing XP, and also came across 3 fossils for the museum. The vanilla game palm fossil and 2 new ones from Mount Vapius, fossilized ammonites and a fossilized fish. We met Mariam in the forest and chopped down a new tree to find out that we could now grow pine trees at home, as well as a mysterious Junimo plaque saying if I helped the hamlet here, then I would be rewarded. We caught a white Vendace for the first time here before leaving on the bus home, quickly running back to the mines to pick up our loot haul for the day before planting down the birch seeds and heading to sleep. Our binning and archaeology skill leveled up overnight, giving us some new crafting and food recipes, and in the morning of day 3 we met Susan for the first time. We cleared up a little of the farm before heading to Cindersnap Forest, finding a yarrow and our first pine spruce from shaking a tree, which we can use to make teas, tinctures, syrups, and vodka apparently. We got our first chicken from Marnie, naming her Hoolandite after my backyard server friend, who really gave me the courage to start off this series in all honesty. And giving her a little love, we then read some mail from the mayor asking for his purple shorts, which he had lost. Go check out Hoolandite's channel, as she's also doing some Stardew content, which is really fun to watch. We decided to ship the spruce pine as it would give us a small boost to money in the early game, and picked up another violet starling feather before seeing the mayor complain to Morris about the explosion from last night. We donated an anchor, sword, and the 3 fossils we had found to the museum, which rewarded us with a seed maker, warp tokens to Mount Vapius, and the Jade Hills artwork. We read some more about fishing and gifted Carmen a clam before doing a small bit of fishing and heading home. We set up a recycling machine next to the crab pots to get the trash auto recycling for us, and we used the rest of our energy cutting down trees that night, shipping off a couple more items to fill out the shipped item list before heading to bed. Fishing level 6 was reached while we slept, unlocking the bait maker, and our binning skill leveled up again, allowing us to now construct composters. It was Jazz's birthday that morning, and we received a message from our interdimensional friends on day 4 saying if we wanted we could send our animals and give them, and they would give us meat in return. if we sent them using a magical wand, which does look a bit like a meat cleaver, but let's not dwell on that too much. Marlon had sent us some new seeds, which would grow into casino coins. We harvested our next batch of fire beans, gave Moonlight some love, found some new types of Joja called Joja Blast and Code Strawberry. We continued to chip at the friendship with Luna as our first marriage candidate, and bought our second chicken, naming her Sprinkles, who I also know from the backyard. So be sure to check out her channel too, she has a lot of very interesting content. We bought our first melon seeds from Pierre, noticing pork and beef seeds for sale. We found Jazz and gave her a wild strawberry for her birthday, and found the final things we were missing for our summer foraging bundle. Melons planted and watered, we set up a chest for all our Joja Cola, made a note to buy paths from Robin, and got the summer forage bundle completed, netting us 30 summer forage seeds, which will help boost our money. We unlocked the vault and immediately bought the cheapest bundle, getting us some chocolate cake, planted the summer forage seeds, shipped some more items for the shipping collection, and again went to bed. Binning leveled up again as we slept, and we chose the sneak perk so we can look through trash without affecting the friendships of most people. We woke up to our first crop of Beehives on day 5, and I'm sure I'm butchering that pronunciation, immediately shipping it for the collection, and reading the mail, Willie let us know he had new rods for sale. Susan sent us 5 melon seeds to increase our crop growing empire, and our first dahlia had grown. We added the oranges to our item storage, meaning we don't have to worry about keeping one now for collection, and we can focus on using any others we get for crafting and cooking recipes, immediately picking up an extra orange in the underground farm cave as well as an apple. We checked through the fish bundles for the summer fish, and heading out of the farm we met Malaya and Kimpoi for the first time, and they had spent many years away from the valley. It looks like Olga was Kimpoi's sister, and potentially Malaya had some kind of secret that she's hiding away. We found a Dawn's trumpet at the bus stop, gave Caroline a cookie we had just found in the trash. On foraging at the beach, found us the Jack Be Nimble book, which increases our defense. We fished a little as I was trying to get the red snapper, not realizing at this point that I need rain for it to appear. So instead, after a failed fishing attempt, we dropped off a sunfish, catfish, sardine, bullhead, and bream at the community center. We also dropped off the orange and the apple that we had found this morning. We fished at the mountain lake for a while, though I'm not quite sure what fish I was looking for. Got several new Joja Cola boxes and found our first star anise on the way home. Some fish were placed in the item collection chest, and opening the Joja boxes got us 2 new colas, Parrot Punch and Cola Dough. We continued to level up the binning skill as we slept. No new recipes this time, but an increased chance for rare loot drops is always nice. It was raining as we got out of bed on day 6, and Kimpoi was there to tell us he would be selling saplings of exotic fruit he'd found on his world travels. The first of our hot peppers were ready to harvest, and we immediately shipped one of them, deciding today to head to the mines despite the bad luck, as we really needed some gold. Finding our first inky cap on the way, I was reminded that mushrooms galore spawn when the rain is out. So that is something we definitely need to remember for the future, and that day we managed to get down to level 67 before having to retreat. But we did get a decent haul of loot, and hey, we did get our first piece of gold. We ran to the bus stop in the rain to check for mushrooms, finding an apricot jelly, were cococo, honey fungus, and birch ballet, before quickly picking up some sweet basil that we had left behind when our inventory was full. We set up a chest for keeping one of each of the mushrooms, and we have a decent start to it already. Also adding a gold daffodil to the chest to complete the daffodil set for the future. We slept, uncovering more archaeology secrets, including recipes for a bone path and glass brazier, and would you believe it, a binning level up 2 came that night, and we learned how to craft the recycling bin. It turns out the recycling bin can be put anywhere around town, and people might throw out some good items for us to take home, so we will have to start crafting these as soon as possible. The Queen of Sauce taught us how to make baked fish on day 7, and we got our fire beans harvested and summer forage watering duties all done. Moonlight gifted us with our first egg of the challenge, and so we got some mayonnaise machines made and got that egg processed. Jazz kindly gifted us with some meadow mixed seeds in the mail, and we headed over to Clint's to break down some geodes. That turned out to be quite fruitful, and we could donate 5 more minerals to the museum, as well as a dwarf skull that we had found during our mining expedition. The reward for all of that was a bear. Not the best, but it is kind of cute. We finally remembered to buy the path recipe we were wanting from Robin, shipped our first mayo, and set up a chest to automate the dehydration process. We are going to need to keep one of each possible dried fruit and mushroom after all. We started adding the summer forage items to the collection chest, shipped a fairy mushroom as we had finally gotten a spare one, and set up our first tapper on a maple tree. the bee honey empire could now soon begin. And after clearing some of the farm of grass to encourage forage to spawn, we slept for the night. Week 2 began, and as we slept, foraging leveled up, giving us the sorely needed lightning rod recipe, as well as a way to craft rose flax bushes to save on us finding it through forage. Mining also leveled up, and we decided to go with the miner profession. It was Gus's birthday on day 8, so we got a diamond ready for him, and today Sprinkles also started laying eggs. Having some mayo consistently being made every day for income is going to help us out immensely, and we also set up an animal products chest so we can start storing one of all of the items made by our animals. We crafted up the first wood flooring and started laying out the official layout for this area of the farm. I want this little corner to be full of quality sprinklers eventually so we can grow all of the trellis style crops, and we got our first summer squash planted down as we will be needing it for the summer crops bundle. Gus received his birthday gift, we talked a little more to Luna, caught our first pufferfish, and finally realized we need rain for the red snapper. We got our first amber moondrop berries on the way home, stored some more fish away from completion, as well as some Joja cola, and rested our weary head. Day 9 had more hot peppers for us, and we stored away our first basic quality eggs for the completion goal. In the mail we received the salmon dinner recipe, kitchen blender and artisan mead keg recipes, as well as a new cactus which we immediately got planted down. We headed to Pierre's with an assortment of crops, getting some jamborite from a geode, and using the money we just got to work on an upgrade for our pickaxe. We headed to Ridgeside Village to talk to Lenny, who asked us if she could help us out restoring the minecarts around the village, and that is something we will get started on later on in the year, potentially during the winter time. Olga got a silver green bean for her birthday, a few more fish were added to our complete item collection, and we got over 2,000 gold from Demetrius for delivering him a diamond today. Heading to the Adventures Guild, we found Marlon and Robin in talks about expanding the guild, and after Asmodeus put forth the crazy $500,000 of gold to pay for it, I was left in charge of collecting 600 wood for the expansion to get started. We planted down some more summer squash, added to our mushroom collection, and shipped off a random assortment of stuff again to try and get our money up, as I think at this point I was aiming for the next backpack upgrade. A bit of tree clearing before bed meant we could lay down some more of the paths between our crops, and off to bed we went. Would you believe it if I said that binning leveled up again as we slept? Because it did, and we learnt the fish casserole recipe. After harvesting some more fire beans on day 10, the mayor let us know that the luau would be happening the next day. Sprinkles provided us with our first silver egg for collection, and we got some dahlia stored away as well for completion. Today was Mara's birthday, and so she got a gold quality strawberry, giving us a good boost to her friendship, and we went fishing for some sturgeon. One for the luau tomorrow, one for caviar later, and another for the community center. And we got a couple of artifacts for the museum too, so it wasn't a bad fishing day. We immediately dropped one of those sturgeon off at the community center and dropped off the largemouth bass there later, completing another bundle. We found a shiny rainbow shell foraging on the beach, and at home we set up a new chest just for keeping track of all the feathers for completion. New Joja was also added to collection, and we went to bed. With a storm approaching the next day, on day 11 we got 4 lightning rods crafted with a chest to auto collect them for us, and got all our summer forage harvested, storing away one of each quality for completion, made another batch of seeds, and shipped the rest for some cash. In the mail we got a zebra cactus to plant, a recipe from Maru to make a bobber station, and then we headed to the luau where we bought some watermelon seeds and a kiwi fruit starters. I thought when I bought the kiwi we'd get 1 harvest this season, but I did miscalculate, but we can always buy them next year instead. The governor was happy with the fish I had added to the soup. It wasn't the best quality sturgeon, but it was better than nothing and would give us some friendship with everyone in the valley. We got those watermelons and kiwis planted afterwards and then headed on to bed. The lightning was everywhere as we harvested our first summer spangle and poppy the morning of day 12, deciding to ship them off as we will grow more the following year. A Hoodia cactus had been sent to us in the mail for planting, and with the rain the mushrooms are out in force at the bus stop, where we got a meringue, cinnamon bracket, chicken of the woods, silver leaf, black trumpet, as well as another violet starling feather. We ran back home to drop it all off, completing the violet feather collection so we can ship any extras now that we get for cash. Our pickaxe was ready for collection, and now we can unlock the farm quarry. We dropped off a rusty spur at the museum, caught the shad as they only come out in the rain, found a shooting star, and finally got the red snapper. We made a note to build a barn, silo, stables, and to move the house at some point, and dropped off those 2 fish at the community center. We found an inky cap on the way home and mined our way into the farm quarry, clearing out the whole area, and hopefully having this area open now will help us gather ores a little easier. Fishing leveled up as we slept, and the rain continued on in the morning of day 13, and Alex got an amethyst for his birthday, and we headed to the mines this day. We hit level 82 today and got a decent amount of ores while we were at it, and an indigo milk cap, as well as another cinnamon bracket was grabbed near the farm as we headed to bed. Combat leveled up, as did binning, where we unlocked the advanced recycling machine. We learned pancakes on day 14, and then looked at the expensive recipe for the new advanced recycling machine. Our first blueberries were ready, so we shipped 15 and added one of each quality to the item collection chest. And I forgot to mention, we had also been harvesting the casino coins from the monster crops mod, and we stored away a normal and silver quality one. Having a cutscene with Demetrius, he seemed weird that I was getting close to Myro, and I was happy to tell her about it. But that seemed like the smart decision to make, so it's all good. This was the day we finally pushed back our house to its forever home, and I can't wait for us to be able to start decorating the farm and making it beautiful. We petted Dusty, because of course he is the best boy, and started separating out bulk storage from the collection items until we find a more permanent home for everything. The first of our gold was smelted, so we got the first 2 quality sprinklers set down, meaning we can now buy more crops without worrying about watering, moving the old sprinklers over to fill out the rest of this corner. Yet another rainy day on day 15, and our first gold quality brown and white eggs for the item collection were waiting for us. The underground cave found us a silver apricot, and with it being another rainy day, the bus stop got us a dawn's trumpet, candle snuff fungus, jack-o'-lantern, death cap, portobello mushroom, earth star, and cinnamon bracket. We picked up a request from Haley for a hot pepper, buying 8 more melon seeds, and the muchly coveted second backpack upgrade, as the loot goblin in me needs to collect everything. Clint got gifted an aquamarine, and we cracked open some new geodes, allowing us to donate 2 more minerals to the museum. Marnie was throwing out some cloth in the trash, and after dropping off all of our new mushrooms into the item collection chest, we finished off the lovebird feather collection. So this is something else we can now just focus on shipping for the money. We placed the battery in the tunnel, getting us the quest to place a rainbow shell in the train station, and then we headed on to bed. We learned how to make a loom as we slept, waking up on day 16, finding Emily at our door telling us we can use her sewing machine now that we got our first piece of cloth. We got our first piece of maple syrup, immediately using it to make a beehive, placing it down next to the dahlia to see if these modded flowers would have their own types of honey, and it looks like it might actually have some. Pierre had sent us several star cactus seeds to plant. We got a whole load of items dropped off at the community center and managed to complete the summer crops bundle, which rewarded us with an extra quality sprinkler, and I am more than happy to take all the help I can get. Haley got the hot pepper she wanted, getting us another prize ticket, and we used that to get our first star drop tea, giving it to Evelyn. Joja received the cauliflower she'd requested from last season, and Lenny got a gold quality pepper for her birthday. 2 more tappers were set up on the maple trees, and on our way to the train station we finally met Electo for the first time. And then we dropped off the rainbow shell for the next quest, which we won't be able to do until the autumn season. Day 17 was Alex's birthday, and after being confused that the birch trees gave us some eggs, we shipped one off and turned the other into some mayo. We cleared some more trees from the farm, gifted Alex a silver quality apricot, and set our axe up for an upgrade. Finally, we had the wood for repairing the beach bridge after our earlier tree clearing, and then it was off to the community center to finish off the Artisan bundle, which got us our first keg. The wine and juice can now begin to flow. We added some beach forage to the item collection chest, set some spiceberry wine being made, as we're going to need 4 of each wine to get all the qualities for all the crops, added some more flowers into the item collection, and finally started organizing all our bulk storage items, setting up chests for minerals, artifacts, fish, batteries, and ores before heading off to sleep. Foraging improved as we slept, unlocking the resin crafting bench, but that particular mod we're going to hold out on for a little while until we have a good stockpile of artifacts to use with it. And with the archaeology level up, we chose the Pioneer perk for more artifact spawn point. The green rain was here on day 11, turning some of our trees into mossy one, and weeds were everywhere for us to gather much needed fiber. We headed back to the mines, obtaining the obsidian edge on 490, and called it there for a day with a good haul of gems and 76 gold ore. Mining leveled up from our yesterday expedition, and on day 19 our second round of summer forage was ready to harvest. We set down 1 more quality sprinkler, collected our copper axe, played with Alex, talked to Willie about his boat, and bought some bait. Gave Demetrius gold strawberry for his birthday and learned how to make some amanita tea from Marlin. More mushrooms and forage were added to the item collection chest. We cleared another corner of the farm of trees and got 2 more quality sprinklers set down and shipped off some more items, including lemon thyme and sweet basil, for the shipping collection. And to finish off the night, we continued to organize our bulk storage, making a chest for fruit, vegetables, and flowers. Thunderstorms greeted us again on day 20 with mail from Demetrius showing us how to make a frozen treat machine, as well as a request from him for a melon. The dahlia honey was ready as well, but we will hold on to it for now for the item collection, and with the rain came the usual mushroom harvesting from the bus stop. Willie got a tomato he had requested, and we headed to the mines, getting down to level 97 that night with another decent haul, including our first squid ink, which we decided to ship off. We realized we had everything needed to completely finish off the boiler room in the community center today, so we rushed over to get it completed before putting down 2 more quality sprinklers before bed. We did collapse on our front porch that night, unfortunately, but it was all worth it. Minecarts now repaired, meaning we will be able to quickly travel around the entire valley. Although I completely forgot that we can use them for several in-game days after this. The binning skill reached level 10 as we slept, and we chose Reclaimer for more money when trashing items, and on the morning of the 21st we learned how to make maki rolls. The Hoodia cactus had its first crop this morning, and we got some more fruit and veg stored away for item collection. We got our first rare seed from the wandering merchant, as well as 2 new types of Joja cola. Tried to buy a silo from Robin but brought wood instead of stone, and decided to spend that evening scything away the grass in the northern farm area with plans to turn this into our tree farm. 2 more quality sprinklers were set up again today, and we set up some bulk storage for herbs, spices and forage items. Day 22 started with a star cactus ready for harvest. We shipped one off and then hopped over to visit Robin to get the silo we couldn't get the day before. From the looks of it, we'll be able to fit 4 silos in the area above our house, so that will be the long-term goal. I chatted to Demetrius and he told me the history of the valley. We found our first ornamental fan at the beach and fished to try and catch the tuna and tilapia. But we failed, so the new plan was to try and get the iridium rod as soon as possible to make things a little easier for us. The clearing of the area around the broken down shed for the future tree farm was almost finished that night, and we shipped off many excess crops to hit the 7.5k goal for the iridium rod. A crow got at the fire beans on day 23, so we set up our second scarecrow and it was off to the beach for the iridium rod after last night's profits. It was then I realized we had completely forgotten about the trout derby this year, so I guess that is also something on the list for the following year. But the rod at least provided, and we managed to catch the tilapia and the tuna. We gave Vincent a battery for his birthday before heading over to complete the ocean bundle. We stocked up on wood on the way home and finished clearing out the area for the tree farm. It was late in the night, but I realized then we still had corn and the first watermelons to harvest, so we shipped them all off for a tidy profit, but I did remember to hold on to one of the normal silver and gold quality watermelons for the item collection. Spiceberry wine greeted us on day 24 as it a completed silo, and with the second helping of dahlia honey, we shipped it off for over 500 gold. Sprinkles gave us our first silver white egg, and we headed on over to give Willie a diamond for his birthday. Clint opened several more ores, meaning we could donate 3 more minerals to the museum, plus the ornamental fan we'd found earlier. We added our first gold quality mayo to the item collection and spent a good chunk of the day laying out more of the paths in the farm, and before bed we stocked up on wood so we could help upgrade the Adventures Guild tomorrow. We learned how to make kegs and oil makers as we slept, and on day 25 we started to get our first large egg from Sprinkles. Willie taught us how to make chowder, and Gunther told us that we could make our own fans with bird feathers. Luckily though, they were not the ones that we had been shipping. George was requesting a hot pepper for his knee, but we had more important things to do today as the tree farm needed building. We set down 15 of each tree aside from birch and mahogany and headed on over to Robin's with the wood for the Adventures Guild. We got the paths down around the tree farm and set up the chests ready for the future, although one of them doesn't appear to be activating with the automate mod, so I do need to figure that out. And with a quick maple syrup harvest before bed, we got 3 more beehives ready for the flowers for next season. Sleep provided more knowledge in foraging and archaeology that night, and on the rainy morning of day 26, Robin was there to tell us the Adventurers Guild upgrade would be ready tomorrow. After a round of blueberry harvesting, we ventured to buy our second rare seed from the traveling merchant and headed to the mines for the day. On level 100, we got our first star drop, only 6 more to go, and we managed to get onto level 108. We finally remembered as well that day that the minecarts had been fixed and used them to get home. And this turned out for the best, as it also meant we could get that rainy day harvest at the bus stop, which got us 7 more mushrooms of various qualities for the item collection. The fighting in the mine leveled us up that night, and we chose the fighter perk, waking up on day 27 to a decent harvest of melons and summer forage. Marlon let me know in the mail the guild had been upgraded and that new people had come to stay, and we managed to get 5 new quality sprinklers set up this morning. The area is now nearly completely full of all the sprinklers that we need now. In the mines we got down to level 115 before running out of energy, so we went to meet the new people at the guild, and it turns out they are Marlon's nephew and niece, Gabrielle and Zinnia, and they are here to undertake some monster research, so I can't wait to help them out. Mining leveled up that night and we woke up on the last day of summer in year 1 of our ultimate collection challenge to the bread recipe from the Queen of Sauce. In the mail we received 3 aloe vera saplings from Linus, so we planted them down as they will grow into the autumn, as well as the sashimi recipe. Demetrius let us know the Moonlight jellies would be at the beach tonight, and we spent a good chunk of the day getting the farm ready for autumn, tilling the soil and planting down some summer forage to hold the watered areas. The wandering trader supplied us with our 3rd rare seed ready for autumn, as well as the generic jelly item. Now we just need generic pickles and wine from her. But she did also have some new Joja color types for us to purchase. We gathered a decent amount of amber moondrop berries from foraging in Cindersnap Forest that evening before we headed on to the Moonlight jellies, but not before we saw Linus rummaging through George's trash. We bought the Moonlight jellies banner, and after that we watched the Moonlight jellies arriving at the pier in the dark of the night. And just like that, the summer was over. And looking back now, I think we've made some decent progress. New mods have obviously provided us a lot more to find and discover, but that's just part of the fun of this challenge. We've collected many new items, expanded the museum collection, made some friends, got our 2 chickens, set up a silo, started getting the official layout for the farm started, expanded the Adventures Guild, and so much more. I can't wait to see how the autumn season is going to go for us, and you can bet we will be adding some new exciting mods in the coming season too. I'll see you all in the next video, or even in the live streams if you want to hop by and hang out. And thanks to everyone so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. So, bye for now.